your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you this morning from the First United Bank studio. Looking forward to hearing from you today on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app for that. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. I'm going to say something. You're going to say, well, every day is a good day for this, but I'm going to say today's an especially good day for this. It's a nice, cool, crisp morning. Be a good morning for you to, grab your Sony Walkman and take a little walk around the neighborhood before you go to work this morning and take us with you.
I agree with every single thing you said. Every bit of it.
Do you have that?
Something about that recording didn't work. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, so it's a nice, crisp, somewhat crisp October morning. So enjoy it while you can, because I'm sure it'll heat up as the day gets on. Well, man, we had some baseball yesterday that didn't go the way that I think folks thought it would, at least in a couple series. The Detroit Tigers oust the Houston Astros 5-2. I really thought at one point in time in this game that the Astros were going to start to maybe bust it open a little bit, because the Tigers put a guy into pitch. I think the Astros were down 2-1, and he was in his third major league game. And this was late in the game. His first batter up, he hit a guy. This was in the sixth, and the Astros did. In the seventh, bottom of the seventh. The Astros did get a couple runs out of that. They were down 1-0 going into that inning, so they get 2 runs in the seventh. But then they cough up 4 in the eighth. I mean, and it started off pretty good in the eighth for them with a strikeout, but man, it just went to hell in a handbasket after that. A couple of walks and then a screamer down the left field line with the bases loaded, and that's all she wrote, Jamie.
That was it, man. It was one huge, massive swing that changed that. Right? It just felt like I had confidence in the Astros at that point that they would be able to win a tight game late like that, and then that swing just changed everything, and the life went out of that place, and it was over at that point. It was basically a walk-off.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it wasn't, but it just felt like the game was over right then.
Yeah, it was pinch hitter Andy Ibanez comes on, gets a...
And you look at these series, and you just see how you get to the postseason. And these teams that hit a ton of home runs, and these teams that score a bunch of runs, it just changes. You get to the postseason as low-scoring clutch hitting. Hitting with runners in scoring position is so incredibly important.
Yeah, no doubt. And so the Astros, who didn't have, let's face it, they didn't have the best of seasons. They were 5 games over 500. This was, a team that, as they were talking in the postgame, they battled some injuries, and yet they won a division that wasn't as strong as maybe the other two, at least top to bottom. Jeff, pointing out yesterday the number of games against the White Sox, et cetera, et cetera. That was, I guess, for the Central. But anyway, the bottom line is, it wasn't like they were a dominant team all year long, right?
No, I wouldn't say that by any stretch of the imagination. There were times, there were stretches that it felt like they were going to turn it on, and it felt like this was a team. I mean, I think a lot of the experts had the Astros winning the American League. So it felt like a team with their postseason pedigree, that a veteran squad. Had some young guys too, but that you felt like would be able to, make a run at it once again.
7 straight in American League Championship Series. It's incredibly
impressive.
It speaks for itself, right? Yeah, it speaks for itself. So that series is 2 and done with the road team winning the 2, and then you shift to the other wild card matchup in the American League, and the Royals beat the Orioles 2-1, and those were both one-run games, low-scoring games. That I guess if I had thought going in, you're going to have maybe low-scoring games, or at least where the Royals were going to score 3 runs in 2 games. I'm like, oh, that's going to be a short series for Kansas City, because I certainly didn't expect Baltimore to get stumped like that, score 1 run in 2 games.
Both teams were really struggling down the stretch, so I really had no idea what was going to happen in that series. Okay. I mean, both teams really kind of stumbled their way in.
No question. I mean, I think I've seen a stat where the Royals haven't scored more than 3 runs in the last 13 games.
Yeah.
And yet here they are. They're going to face a juggernaut in a run-scoring team in the Yankees in the division series.
As we talked about, you get to the postseason, and those runs don't come so easily, so you better be able to pitch. Yeah. Orioles have now lost 10 straight postseason games. Yikes. That's rough.
That is rough. Meanwhile, the Padres oust the Braves 5-4, and they win that series 2-0. So the home team winning there, and so they advance onto the division series. And the Brewers force a Game 3 today with the New York Mets, as they won that game yesterday in Milwaukee 5-3. So it sets up just one game in baseball tonight, and that's Milwaukee and the Mets, and that's a 6 o'clock first pitch from Milwaukee. And I guess you're rooting for the Brewers in this game.
No, I'm rooting for the Mets.
You are rooting for the Mets?
Yeah, I have a good friend who's a Mets fan, so
okay,
I'm pulling for his Mets.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, there you go. That's a little bit of a surprise. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Morning, fellas. Back at the gym with the wife this morning, starting to think this will become routine. Uh-oh.
Good for you.
That's 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Let's see. Centex Hank. Astros didn't have the pitching, and Kyle Tucker disappeared during the playoffs both last year and this year. Stros looked too complacent. No fire in the belly. I'm a big fan of fire in the belly.
Couldn't get their offense going.
Yeah, couldn't stoke the...
Yeah, you can talk about Verlander not being healthy or whatever, but it's not like you got lit up offensively in the series.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It really wasn't the case. You just couldn't score.
So for Saturday, it's Detroit and Cleveland. That's a 12:08 first pitch. And then Yankees and Royals will be a 5:38 first pitch from New York on Saturday night. And then the Dodgers and the Padres. That'll be a fun series, won't it?
It'll be an awesome series. That's some serious, rivalry going on there. It's not San Francisco, LA, but it's still really, really good. They had a great series a couple years ago in the postseason. 2 loaded teams full of superstars. I mean, it should be a lot of fun.
Would you like to see San Diego advance?
Over the Dodgers, yes.
Yeah. Okay. 6-10 this morning.
I'll take Philly over the Dodgers, too. Or the Mets.
Okay. Anybody?
No, I think the Dodgers are the best team. Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
And with this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Gentlemen, if we were around on this day in 1925, we could still have done our jobs. Because Texas Tech plays their very first collegiate football game.
Woohoo!
Tying McMurray 0-0 in front of 4,500 fans.
Well,
but we could have told you about that game today with Optimum Game Day Live starting at 7 o'clock.
Probably should have ran the dang ball, Jamie.
Probably so.
Maybe should have had a ball. I don't know why the score was nothing. 1936, New York Yankees set a new attendance record of 64,482 in Game 2 of the World Series at Yankee Stadium. The following day, Game 3. The following day for Game 4, they set another record of 66,669.
Fire marshal
so an extra 2,000 people showed up for Game 4. Yankees won the series over the Giants 4-2. On this day, 1951.
Racker throws. There's a long flag. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants won the pennant. 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 Bobby Thompson hits into the very back of the left field stand. The Giants won the pennant, and they're going crazy. They're going crazy.
Most famous baseball call?
Man, it's certainly one of them, if not the. I love how he's got the they're going crazy, go crazy, and then Joe Buck kind of uses that, or Jack Buck then uses that later on when the Cardinals beat the Dodgers in a similar moment. Jamie?
I don't. Yeah, I think so, Jeff. I think so. I think you nailed it.
Hard to argue with it. I'm
trying to think of World Series calls, right? So you'd have to lean towards Joe Carter as being
sure.
That's a walk-off to win the World Series, right?
The Bill Mazeroski walk-off in 1960.
Yeah,
but I can't tell you what that call sounds like.
Walk-off home run.
I can't either.
The D-backs walked off the Yankees, but it wasn't a home run. I don't know. I think so. Or like when Bonds broke the home run record, or I just.
Now, even the Bucky Dent home run, for the Yankees to beat the Red Sox in the playoff game in '78.
Which brings up the question: then, what's the most famous sports call ever? And I think it's the
80 hockey team
miracle.
Probably so.
Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, I think that's the most famous one.
At least here. I don't know that it's as famous in Russia.
There's just so many things about that game,
Probably Maz's home run's not also.
With Ralph Branca on the mound and his future son-in-law Bobby Valentine and Willie Mays on deck, and really the radio announcers should have been Ernie Harwell. But Ernie Harwell did the game on TV they put the game on TV, and Ernie thought he'd get more exposure being on TV than being on the radio. So, well,
I think that all of that information that you have brought out is interesting. I don't think it played into how big that moment was how great that call was at all. I don't think it factors into this conversation.
No, I just think it's interesting that
I agree. I agree, but I don't think it factors into this conversation.
Probably. In terms of the most famous of all, probably so.
1982, center fielder Robin Yount homers twice as Milwaukee whips Baltimore 10-2 at Memorial Stadium to win the Brewers' only AL East championship. Well, he can't win it again. They're
right? No. And then they would go on to win the American League championship and then lose to the Cardinals.
1998. Ricky Williams runs for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Rob Peters has a touchdown run as well as Texas Tech tops Baylor 31-29 for a 5-0 start to the season.
Sometimes of all the former Red Raider quarterbacks, he's one that kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Rob Peters?
Yeah.
That's fair.
As one that was decent and liked.
Yes. Right. All those things, right.
There's other guys that get lost in the shuffle because we've had some bad ones over the years that you just were there. Jackson Tyner, who I couldn't remember on Saturday. Right. One of them.
Right.
Okay. But I feel like he was at least a decent one for us. And a good dude.
And a good dude, right. All those things, yeah.
4.0 student. I remember that being a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's truly a student athlete.
He was. He was not getting paid, and he's probably owns a gazillion-dollar company or something now because he was so smart. I don't know.
And in 2015, former Red Raider A.J. Ramos gets 2 saves on the final day of the season, pitching in both games of a doubleheader, totaling 6 outs, 5 Ks, getting his 31st and 32nd saves of the year.
God, I wish he hadn't gotten hurt.
That's just shocking.
Yeah.
That they used him that way.
Right.
I've never heard of an MLB team doing that in the current era.
Maybe he wanted to.
What year?
2015.
Man, maybe that played into his arm getting hurt.
All right.
Happy National Caramel Custard Day.
Caramel? Mm-hmm. Caramel custard?
Caramel, whatever. It's custard. Big happy birthday. I don't even think I need to say it. Second, probably biggest birthday ever. Maybe the biggest birthday for this radio station.
Second birthday. Okay,
it's a tough call. Probably the biggest. Happy birthday, former Yankee outfielder, San Diego Padre, Dave Winfield. Turned 73 today.
California Angel, Minnesota Twin, Toronto Blue Jay.
Good dude. College Baseball Hall of Famer.
College Baseball Hall of Famer. Major League Baseball Hall of Famer.
Yeah, one-time draft choice. Yeah.
Drafted in all
the sports.
3 major sports.
Yeah. After not playing basketball, right?
No, he played basketball at Minnesota.
Yeah.
But he didn't play
football.
Didn't play football, but still got drafted by the Vikings. Yeah. They thought they could turn him into a tight end, and that he would want to stay in his hometown. Yeah,
probably could have been a pretty good tight end.
Yeah, drafted by the Vikings, the Hawks, and the Padres.
Yeah, he would have been the quintessential tight end.
He'd have been big. He'd been a big one then.
Yeah, those guys were
pretty big.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah. And on this day, 1955, the first edition of the Guinness Book of World Records is published in Great Britain. It quickly proves to be a hit. Known as the Guinness World Records Book, the annual publication features a wide range of feats related to human and animal events. The inspiration for the record book can be traced in November of 1951 when Sir Hugh Beaver, managing director of the Guinness Brewing Company, was on a hunting trip in Ireland after failing to shoot a golden plover? P-L-O-V-E-R, plover? Anyhow, he and his members of his hunting party were arguing whether that's the fastest bird. And they could not find the answer. They then thought to themselves, hey, I bet we could have a book that had all these records in it so that people could have these in bars and end arguments. I don't know if that worked or not because we've got the internet. And that is this day in sports history.
I just got to tell you, I love the Guinness Book of World Records, and I used to look at that when I was like in grade school and junior high and try to figure out if there's one I could break.
That does not surprise me.
That doesn't surprise you at all.
One tiny bit.
No, it doesn't. But I did. I would look at that and go, I didn't think I could do that. Then you get lost in the shuffle with the longest fingernail and the longest beard. And
which one are you going after?
I never.
Most years hosting the morning drive.
Yeah.
Most hands shook in a day.
You got to be right. That's a world record you have, right?
Yeah.
You longest tenured morning drive host.
Yeah,
I mean, he did it longer than Gus and Snead.
By a million years. Let's give you a look. Let's give you a lucky local winning word here before we run out of time. From the Home Zone, making your house a home at 50th and Indiana and Double T 97.3. We're going to waste some cash today, so make sure you enter this word, Trojans, Trojans, Trojans. Go to doublet97.3.com and make sure that you get entered to win, as we are wanting to give you some cash so you can go spend it on whatever you want.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Has walked twice, and the wind blowing out. There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run. We will have a 7th game in this 1975 World Series. A lot of body English for Carlton Fisk.
Was that the radio call or was that Dick Stockton?
I think that's a TV call.
Okay, Dick Stockton.
Well, it's Joe No way I'm going to get that last name right. Ned Martin?
Martin.
He did one of them.
Ned Martin.
I don't know who it was.
That's the Boston Red Sox call. Then from the 75 World Series, which a lot of people think that game that was the last game. No, there was a Game 7, and Cincinnati won it. And but
it says it right there in the highlight. You just got to keep listening. There will be a Game 7.
Well, I understand that.
But you're right. Everybody does think that was a home run World Series winner.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody yesterday about that, and he said that his dad was out of town, or his dad was working, and he got to stay up late to watch it as a result of that. Okay, Red Raider football on Saturday. They 4-1 Red Raiders take on Arizona, a team that beat Utah, although they didn't have their quarterback. They didn't have Cam Rising, and they only scored 24 points in the ball game. So, I mean, 23. They won 23-10 at Utah after losing previously to Kansas State 31-7 on September the 13th. So Taj Brooks the other day was asked, because everybody's being asked about this, Joey McGuire, Zach Kitley, Tim DeRuyter. So here's one of the players. What's missing from the road games?
I would just say just preaching this week as we're going playing in a home game. We don't need to make it bigger than what it is. We don't need to make it as, it's just a away game. We got to just preach as just going in this week as we play at home, keeping your routine the same, being consistent with that and just really just practicing hard this week because we're going against a great Arizona team.
That's a lot of common sense right there, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of common sense there. And sometimes you need some common sense amongst your senses, so to speak.
Is that your eighth sense is common sense?
I had a friend of mine yesterday tell me that was one of the funniest things ever.
It was pretty good.
The seventh sense.
Jeff's part was phenomenal in that because it was one of those things that I just was shaking my head and just let go, right? I just let it go.
Right.
But Jeff was like, no, we're not letting this go. Jeff, I mean, that was really good. You two were awesome there. That was big fans.
Well, anyway.
Here's what I'm going to tell you, Chuck. Okay. Now I'm going to feel bad, okay? It does make a ton of sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think... I mean, is this the first time that Joey McGuire said, "Hey, just play like we play at home"?
No, it's not.
Surely it's not, right?
No, it's not. But I
would feel like he's not the right guy if he's not saying that to a certain degree.
Here's what I liked about the Taj Brooks deal is that it comes from a veteran, it comes from a player on the team, and you know what? He had some calm to his voice. There wasn't a lot of hype there. I don't think there was BS there. I mean, I think it was, I don't know, I just like the calmness. Play that once again for me, from Taj Brooks.
I would just say just really just preaching this week as we're going playing in a home game. We don't need to make it bigger than what it is. We don't need to make it as, it's just a away game. We got to just preach as just going in this week as we play at home. Keeping your routine the same, being consistent with that, and just really just practicing hard this week because we're going against a great Arizona team.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, we talk about the appointed leader, which is what Joey McGuire is, and the various coordinators and the coaches. They're appointed. They're appointed by the university, or they're appointed by the head coach. And then there's the anointed leader that is basically appointed by the group, by the players. And Taj Brooks is one of those guys. And then and he has an earned leadership too because of what he does on the field. Hey, when you give 28 the ball, because what he does in terms of his extra effort and his experience and his talent and all those things helps us win football games. So when he speaks like that and with that calmness to his voice, it's not like he wasn't like a rally the troops or, players only meeting or something like that. It's just, I don't know. I just appreciated the calmness there.
Okay.
And I'm usually a guy that's the hand waver. I'm usually the guy that wants the, hey, fire in the belly guy.
Okay, so am I allowed to ask this question? Is this the reason that your confidence level is way higher?
No.
Okay.
No. I just have a gut feeling.
You have a gut feeling.
Have a gut feeling. Have you published that article yet?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. So
you can go to doublet973.com right now, and you can find out
what Chuck said.
What Chuck's gut says.
Yeah. What my gut says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can find out what both of Choice's guts felt. That's not a shot at his weight. It's a shot at him being a flip flopper.
Because he first said they were going to get beat, and then upon further review, he decided they would.
Actually, what happened was he saw the rankings that got put out for the biggest homers in the building.
He wasn't high
and
enough?
He was upset that he wasn't number one, so he had to flip his answer so that he gained some credibility with the homers.
Homer crowd.
Okay. All right, shifting gears, because I thought this was really, really interesting from Joey McGuire the other day. We hear the announcer all the time talking about when a coach calls timeout, he's icing the kicker. He's icing the kicker. So Joey McGuire on Monday was asked about icing the kicker and calling timeouts.
I think it's got to be. That's a good question. I think it's got to be in those situations. I think it's got to be a longer kick. I think the shorter kicks, especially with guys that are really good kickers. He's a good kicker. He's been real consistent up until that point. The first one was really kind of to ice him. I will tell you, Knox, our deep snapper, has had some really good conversations with me on how to ice a kicker. And he brought up the point of, not letting him get his steps in, calling the timeout where a lot of people will call it right before the kick's going to go off. He said he thought it was more important to not let the kicker get the steps in. So the kicker had marked off all of this stuff whenever we called the timeouts. The second one was that we had our max block in. So that's Mason Tharp and John Carlos Miller in that package. And so we wanted to make sure we had the personnel right, at the same time.
I thought that was really interesting about he admitted that they were trying to ice the kicker, which I love, because usually coaches, usually that doesn't always come up because there's other pertinent questions to ask. But then I thought and I didn't ask this question, by the way, then the other thing that I thought was really interesting was what Jackson Knox said.
Yeah, it's interesting that he
observed that.
Kind of took his advice and how all that goes down. Yeah, that's interesting.
I walked.
You would have thought it would have been more the kicker though than the deep snapper.
Than the deep snapper. But I mean, he's got an intimate relationship obviously with the kicker because he's got to snap it back there and and all those kinds of things. And maybe he's probably a student. I would tell you he's a student of the game because I think he's a really smart kid. Because I've had a chance to interview him and talk to him. And by the way, his parents are just unbelievably nice people.
They sit 3 rows back from Chuck.
Nope. I walked from the football facility to the Overton with them the other night, and we had great conversation along the sidewalk. Cool. So you just never know who you're going to run into when you're walking along the street.
I mean, do you just walk around and ask who are you?
No.
I mean,
no, sometimes it just kind of comes up, We're just talking, Just like I talked to
people that you've never met before, you just start a conversation with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
I believe that. No, I believe that.
I mean,
good for you. That's fine.
We're just talking. I mean,
there is nothing wrong with that.
They said, "Oh, we're Jackson Knox." Oh, you're I
it's
know who
awesome that they're proud.
Yeah, and able to go to the game. 7:25. Jamie's question of the day is next.
Signature Stag, your one-stop man shop for legendary game day gear. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Do you think that the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show will end before the Jets and Vikings kick off from London?
Yes.
Yes.
Will it end before pregame coverage of the Jets and Vikings if it were a normal Sunday? No.
You could just start watching your pregame stuff right there before the London game, Chuck, right there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sunday morning I have to read, so that's going to be all right.
He just has to get up in front of everybody and read. Oh, no.
I can't.
Whatever will Chuck do?
It's more about getting up. Because I was thinking about coming down here and sharing the grief with not being on the. I mean, I don't have to be on the air, but I was thinking about coming down and bringing you guys a treat. Would you guys like a treat on Sunday morning?
We're going to breakfast afterwards. Instead of the bar. That's what we're deciding to do.
Okay.
Our treat is going home or going to the breakfast place and getting pancakes.
Is that what you're doing?
That's an awesome idea.
Probably what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Is Rob going too?
He is more than welcome to come, and so is Thomas. Since the 3 of us will be up here.
Thomas the Train
for the wee small hours of the morning.
Yeah. Is that an approved nickname, Thomas the Train?
I don't think so.
Know. Okay. Well, that's an honor to be Thomas the Train.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends if you like the color blue or not.
Right. Well, I mean, or just you root for Thomas. I mean, Thomas is kind of an underdog, kind of a champion of the rail yard.
All right, Chuck the truck.
It was. You would be. I mean,
Chuck the choo choo.
Like if there was a. You'd be a good Thomas, Jamie, because Thomas was always trying to do the right thing, always trying to help.
I wish I succeeded more.
Yeah. All right, what's your question?
All right, it's a little bit odd today. Kind of going off the beaten path a little bit.
For the show, though? Not really. I mean, we're kind of right on path for the show.
Okay, so I want you to tell me year in and year out, right now as you sit here, which Texas Tech athletic teams, just general year in and year out, do you have the highest expectations for? Just blanket statement. And then the second part of the question, and I want you to give me the top 3 in order.
Okay.
And the second part is pick the 4 major sports, and they may be in this category. I don't know. That's up to you. Take the 4 major Texas Tech sports. Which one would you say you have the highest expectations for? Blanket statement, year in and year out. Moving forward.
Oh, moving forward.
As of right now.
As of right now. So there's an as of right now and then a future, right?
No, there's a moving forward. Which 3 athletic teams at Texas Tech do you have the highest expectations for?
It can be any of them.
Any of them. 1, 2, and 3. And then the second part is of the 4 major sports. Which one of the 4 major sports do you have the highest expectation for? It may be on your first list also. That's up to you.
Yeah. This will probably shock you. Because right now we're not treating it like this, okay? But I think that we as a fan base
Can I take meat judging off
Yes.
the list? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Because they're awesome.
I'm going to say baseball's 1. I'm going to say men's basketball is 2, and football is 3. Right now. So baseball is the one I have the highest expectation for year in and year out.
Okay, Jeff?
Men's golf, number 1, highest expectations across the board. Men's track and field, 2. I don't know if you want me to differentiate between indoor or outdoor, but I kind of combine the 2.
I'm going to, yeah.
I combine the 2 as number 2, and number 3 would probably be Texas Tech soccer. And for the second part of the question, of the 4 that I have the highest expectations for, it's probably right now, as we sit, men's basketball.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Jeff on the part 2.
Okay, so Jeff and I are pretty simpatico. Number 1 for me is indoor track. Okay, I mean, you're national champions. Okay, number 1, that's indoor track. Number 2 is men's golf, and number 3 is soccer. And the second part of that, highest expectations of the major 4, it's men's basketball. That's the one where you can throw the most money at to compete at a high level. And we've shown that we're willing to throw the money at it to help it happen. And we're also throwing a lot of money at football, but it's more difficult in football.
Right, because your opportunity might be bigger in basketball,
and
even though the economics say football.
Yeah, and the reports of possibly top 5, top 10 amount of money spent in basketball, I don't know that that's top 10 in the country in football of what we're spending.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
So men's basketball. And then I think you have a great coach and great facilities to recruit to and all the above. So money and those things combined, to me, says that you should be a awesome program.
I'm going to, as much as I hate everything you just said about soccer, I completely agree with, which is why I put them as number 3. I think I need to change it, though, because there's a sport that we didn't mention that we have thrown so much money at that it's ridiculous. And if they don't make the Women's College World Series, it's going to be insane, and that would be your softball program right now.
Yeah, I'll wait to put that there. We'll wait and see.
Well,
yeah,
but the expectation.
Absolutely.
The expectation.
Yeah. See,
absolutely. And are you going to do that each and every year?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's not going to be here forever.
No, she's not.
No,
are you going to continue to buy the best player in the country?
My guess, I'm going to say if this pays off to the point where let's just say you win a Big 12 championship, okay? Let's say you win a Big 12 championship and you advance into at least the regional finals for softball, or you play for the right to go to the College World Series of softball.
For the first time ever.
For the first time ever. I think that investment will continue to be made because it was made by a donor.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically,
you may be right.
I blew the question because when you said the 4 major sports, frankly, I just thought you were talking about the 2 basketball teams, football and baseball.
I was for the second part.
Yeah. I didn't, either I wasn't paying attention closely enough, which is possible, I wasn't listening, which was possible, or I just am ignorant and didn't understand, which is possible. Okay? as a result, it was a bad answer, which is always possible.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The game right now is at the plate. High fly ball into right field. She is gone!
Vin Scully, not a talker.
Yeah, I know. I was just getting ready to say when Jeff played the music, I guess we're out of baseball highlights. We're not going to hear anything from 1988 because on this day in history, Bobby Thompson hits the shot heard around the world with the Giants winning the pennant in 1951, and we've been playing some baseball highlights, and that was one of them.
I think Vin Scully would be criticized for if that was a call today. I think he would be criticized.
He still hasn't said anything yet, by the way.
No, I have no problem with this call. I love this call.
Yeah,
because he called the ball she.
Yeah.
She is gone.
Oh.
Somebody in 2024 would have an issue with that.
Yeah, you're probably
right.
You're probably right. Sadly, you're probably right.
There would be some group that would have an issue with that.
Somebody would have an issue with that. Yeah. Man, people have. I mean, if you want to have an issue with something, that doesn't take you very far to find it. You can find one. You can find an issue.
Sure, you can.
You know. Yeah, I prefer the. Like I've said, I prefer the Jack Buck call on the Gibson home run. But then that was on the radio, so it's a little bit different. I just, if you lined him up for me, Buck or Vin, I think I'd take Jack Buck.
Well, I mean, a TV broadcaster has to do less description, right?
Yeah.
So just knowing your personality, you're probably going to like the guy that's talking more.
Well, I mean, I would say even Jack Buck on television, I would prefer him versus, I think, Vin. Okay.
I think they're both great.
Yeah,
big fan of both.
They're both great. This might be a good. Well, it's probably not a good deal. This will probably bore you, but.
Is that what you decide?
No. Sometimes things that I find interesting. And oh, by the way, I want it noted on Bullfighters, because he's our secretary of the morning drive.
Chuck's about to claim he got something right here.
No, he at 7:54 a.m. on this, the third day of October, year of our Lord 2024, Bullfighter on the Double T 97.3 Yates Flooring Center chat line, okay, presented by Happy State Bank, said 100% agree, Chuck. I don't think Bullfighter has ever 100% agreed with me.
Okay, do you know what he was agreeing on?
Yeah, because he's agreeing with me on Kirk Herbstreit, that he's more suited for college and not the NFL, that he's boring on the NFL.
Okay.
I think he's trying to be too much. He's trying to tell us he's got all this knowledge. We know, man. You don't have to throw it down our throat every single play. Okay. We know. We got it. We got it, Kirk.
Okay.
And I'm really bothered.
He doesn't tell enough stories.
I'm really bothered by, and the other thing that I'm bothered by
is he brings his dog everywhere.
I'm highly disturbed by that. It's like, I feel like that's a major inconvenience. That's a disrespect to his broadcast partner and the crew members and everything like that. He feels like he's got to have his doggy with him everywhere. It's not a service animal, okay? It's not, but it's his teddy bear, I guess.
It seems really odd to me.
Yeah, and it's a big dog too. At least it's not
normal size. It's just not a small one.
It looks big to me. Cumbersome, lumbersome.
I mean, so he puts the dog on the plane with him everywhere.
I guess so. Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Whoa, Bullfighter. You've got plenty of paper for my outrageous statements, but in the first day in the history of ever, you decide to agree with me, and now all of a sudden, sorry, Chuck, I'm out of paper. Sorry, Chuck, I'm out of paper.
think Chuck is generally offended by that.
I am, because, I mean, I sit here and take a pretty good ribbing, day after day after day after day. I wear a flak jacket because my ribs are so sore from all the punching I take, which is fine. I bring it on myself. I get it, man. But
you also don't deserve everything you get.
Right, no, I get it.
I have said that for quite some time. About half, but not all of it.
Breaking news, Chuck hates dogs. You know what?
He does. That's not breaking news.
We are out of the dog business at our house.
Not breaking news.
We are out of the... I paved the entire backyard. We are out of the dog business at our house. I don't hate him. I'm just not going to... Bullfighter, just kidding. Love you, buddy.
It's too late, Bullfighter. You've already set him off.
That's okay. Yeah. Grab a pen. I'll send a roll of paper over to your place. Clearly, Chuck is that guy that would not like referring to the ball as she. No, that's not. I don't have any problem with that. I had no problem with that. I didn't even think about that when he said that she is out of here. I thought, Jamie brought that up. I'm like, what's he go? Where's he going? Maybe Ben didn't talk enough. Chuck, you're letting him live rent-free inside your head. You would think the dog was from New Home. Possibly. Anyway, what I was going to tell you, and probably bore you to death with, I was working out yesterday at noon, and I was walking back after I'd kind of done everything, and there was a football game on, and it was an old game, and I turned to some people there and go, do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? And they're like, it's a football game. The Cowboys and looks like the Steelers.
Did you know these people you started talking to?
One of them I did. Two of them I didn't. Okay. And it was Super Bowl 10, Steelers and the Cowboys. Because I think that's Super Bowl 10. I said first of all, it's a Super Bowl, but it's Super Bowl 10. Okay.
I bet they couldn't figure it out. It was a Super Bowl.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't because it was during the day. It was during the day. They didn't know. They didn't know. What is that? It's a football game. It's the Super Bowl. Super Bowl? Yeah, it's a Super Bowl. Now, here's the thing about this Super Bowl.
Who are you talking to?
Dude, just people that I'm working out with.
You said it's a football game, and they said it's a football game? I didn't know it was a football game. No, who are you talking to?
I said they knew it was a football game.
Where were they from?
I said it was a Super Bowl.
What rock do they live under?
Super Bowl. But here's the deal. Super Bowl 10 was the last time that they started a game as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, it was the last time.
I would love that.
Yes, and you know why they
phenomenal.
Here's the deal. You know why they started it so early, and this is according to Wikipedia. They started it so early so that people
Dancing with the Stars was on afterwards.
So that people could go to their evening church services after the Super Bowl. Now we're worried about everybody having a hangover the next day, so we want to have the day off.
I'm not worried about it.
I know you're not. I know, but some are. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe you might find it interesting. Hey.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.